The song Song Sung Blue is now stuck in my head, and it probably will be for a while. What's up guys, my name is Ryan, welcome to my channel if you're new here. So this is gonna be my review for Song Sung Blue, the new musical biographical film about the husband and wife Neil Diamond tribute band Lightning and Thunder. But before we jump into my review, I want to give kind of my pre-thoughts heading into this film. Now this film was not on my radar heading into the year, it wasn't one of my most anticipated films of the year or anything. I don't even think I saw a trailer or even became aware of this movie until like a couple months before it came out. I saw the trailer and it piqued my interest. It stars two actors that I really like, Kate Hudson and Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman especially. He is Wolverine, he is The Greatest Showman, one of my favorite musicals of all time. Those are my kind of people. People who are into superheroes and action, but also musicals and singing and dancing. Those are like my two favorite movie genres, which it's funny because those are like kind of opposite ends of the spectrum, but I just love those two genres so much. I love seeing actors who have played serious action-based superhero roles also be a bit more lighthearted and sing and dance, and vice versa. Actors who have done more musical stuff, doing a bit more serious superhero stuff. I'm also a big music guy. Music is one of my favorite things in the world. Music is such a gift from God. I was like, oh, this is based on a true story about this husband and wife musical duo? That's interesting. But from the trailer, it didn't seem like just that. It also seemed like the story about family that loves and is faithful to each other, even despite hardship and tragedy that befalls them. So I was really interested in and decently excited heading into this film. So now having seen the film, what did I think? Let's get started talking about it. And don't worry, this is a non-spoiler review. And this film was such a pleasant surprise. I really enjoyed this film. First thing I have to talk about is Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson. They do such a great, fantastic job, both of them. Their chemistry, them playing this husband and wife musical duo, it's so much fun to watch them meet and fall in love and play and sing together. They just have big smiles on their faces pretty much anytime they sing together, and it puts a big smile on your face as well just watching them. And I knew Hugh Jackman was a great singer, but I never really heard Kate Hudson sing before, and the moment she started singing, the first time we hear her sing in this film, I was like, Kate Hudson, fantastic singer. I loved her in this movie. Kate Hudson and Hugh Jackman, their voices blended so well together. It was so beautiful to hear them sing together. And the supporting cast is really good as well. I especially liked the actors they got to portray their children. I know with a lot of people, like teenage kid actors are really usually terrible or very hit and miss, but here I really enjoyed the actors they got to portray their children. I thought they all did a really good job. And of course, you gotta talk about the music in this film, which also was fantastic. Now when it comes to my taste in music, it's generally mostly like Christian music, musicals, and then some modern pop and country as well. I didn't really know who Neil Diamond was heading into this film, or even Thunder and Lightning. I'd heard of Neil Diamond before, but I never really was into him or anything. I never paid much attention to him, but the usage of Neil Diamond's songs, his music throughout this film was incredible. The songs in this film are kind of like the songs in Guardians of the Galaxy, the Marvel movies, where I wouldn't usually gravitate towards them and enjoy them just hearing them on their own, but because of their usage in this movie, because of the context of when they are played and what the characters are going through in the story when they are played, it just heightens the songs for me, and I think it gives the songs more meaning and emotion to them. For example, like at the end of the first Guardians of the Galaxy when Ain't No Mountain High Enough plays, I'd heard that song before Guardians of the Galaxy, but I didn't really care for it or had it on my playlist or anything, but because of its usage in Guardians of the Galaxy, it's so emotional when that song plays, and it has so much meaning to it in the movie. I love that song now, and it is on my playlist. That's the case with a lot of the songs from the Guardians films, and that's the case with a decent amount of the songs here. I didn't love every song, but a lot of the songs did get stuck in my head, and I've been listening to the soundtrack, and I probably will be adding a few of the songs to my playlist, most notably the titular Song Sung Blue. The usage of music in film, it's one of my favorite things, because music is just such an interesting, powerful thing. Music can make you feel a certain way, and when it's used in film to get you to feel how you're supposed to feel in a certain scene, I love that kind of stuff. And the music and the story in this film, they complement each other so well, and they heighten each other and make each other better. I also like how this film shows the kind of the power of music, more so the healing power behind music. I won't spoil, all I'll say is that tragedy does strike and hard times start to befall this family, and through music they find healing and they come back and come out of the darkness that they fall into in this film. And you can just see it on their faces towards the end, how playing and singing music just puts a smile back on their faces, and you can just see it sets them at ease, and it's really healing for them. And I've seen that kind of stuff in real life. Somebody hears a certain song and they're just whisked back to when they were a child, to simpler times, and you just see this peace and joy come over them. I loved seeing that in this movie, and how this movie showed the healing ability and power that music can have for people. Another thing that I just loved about this film is just the faithfulness and loyalty and love between this family that you see throughout the film. Like I said, tragedy eventually strikes in this film. The first half is really fun and happy, getting to see this husband and wife meet and sing together and build a career, but like halfway through the film, tragedy strikes and starts getting really intense, and it gets really deep and emotional. Fair warning for anybody out there who's like my mom and who gets really into movies when they get like that. I saw this film with my mom, and when that stuff started happening, it started getting a bit more intense. She constantly had her hand to her mouth, and she was like crying and wincing. So just a warning for any people out there who are like that. If you want to go see this film, just be warned, it can get a bit intense and deep and emotional. Of course, do your research before heading into a film. That's what I always do, just in case there's any content in a film that I'm not exactly comfortable with, or that might be a bit intense for me, or that I don't like. I always look at the IMDb Parents Guide or look at the Plugged In review. Just wanted to warn any people out there that this film does get pretty intense in the second half. But I love how they showed that family is supposed to stick together and love each other despite those hard times. When this family starts falling on hard times, are they perfect? No, they're human. They still fight and get upset with each other. They have arguments, but when it comes down to it, in the end, they're there for each other, and they help each other, and they love each other, and they do their best to help each other. They don't walk out when things get tough. They're there for each other no matter what happens, no matter what comes. And I loved that, and that's what a family should do. That's what real love is. It's not just about feelings when all times are good. I think a lot of people don't understand that, yes, feelings are involved with love, but love is a choice. Real love is sticking by the person you love even when times are tough, and maybe they get upset with you sometimes. But real love is sticking beside the person and coming alongside them and helping them through the hard times. It kind of reminded me of 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 7, which says that love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things, especially when it says love endures all things. Because that's what this family does. They endure all things together, even though it's not always pleasant, even though it gets scary and intense. This family still loves each other. They are so supportive of each other. I especially love seeing their kids be so supportive of their parents singing, and just seeing their kids sing along and dance when their parents are playing music. And it was just so refreshing to watch a film like this that had such a great message like that of what family and real love looks like. And for the most part, it just felt so wholesome. I never felt the film was ever trying to push an agenda or anything. This was a film that was pretty refreshing to watch. I really, really enjoyed this film. I don't think I have really any complaints about it. Nothing was absolutely horrible. If I had any complaints, there's maybe a couple parts where it feels a bit fast-paced, and pacing for me is a very important thing in movies. I feel like a lot of films can be a bit fast-paced. It's not always super believable, especially when dealing with relationships and seeing how people come to care for each other. Sometimes I feel it's a bit quick. I didn't feel that here. Like, it wasn't a consistent problem throughout the film, but there were just a couple moments where I felt like it was a bit fast-paced. That's really the only criticism I have, but it's very small. It's nothing major that takes like a lot of points off the film for me. This film was such a pleasant surprise. I think I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10, but it could go up on rewatch. Song Sung Blue, one of the most surprising films I've seen this year, and probably one of my favorite films of the year. But thank y'all so much for watching this review. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, and let me know down below what you think of Song Sung Blue if you have seen it. Subscribe right here if you enjoy my content. Right here's my previous movie review for Angel Studios' David. Right here's a playlist of all the films that have come out this year that me and my friends have reviewed. And also stay tuned, my next video should be my top 5 favorite films of the year video, and this film might be in there. And then I will also be doing my top 5 most anticipated films of 2026 video shortly after that as well, so I hope y'all will stay tuned for those videos. With all that said, I hope y'all have a blessed one, guys. I'll see y'all in the next video.